nothing changes.
Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome into the channel, and I don't have any lights set up there or anything because this video is just going to be straight to the point, and you saw the title. It appears in financial fiscal year 2019 last year, the taxes that you and I submitted this year, and currently active during this year 2020 that will be on the taxes we submit next year for 2021. There may be some mistakes on what PayPal submitted through 1099s, and even if you don't have a 1099, what PayPal has recorded. So here's the situation. I received 2 emails within 2 days of each other. I want to guess this was about a week ago and about 5 days ago. And they said that they had gone back through their taxes. They paid a CPA to kind of audit their own taxes, nothing from the IRS. And that the amount of sales they actually did on eBay, all with PayPal, no managed payments, all with PayPal, were $40,000. I'm just making a number up, but I'm just giving you an idea, 40 grand. But the number that PayPal had reported on the 1099 that was actually submitted to the IRS was $46,000. There was a $6,000 plus discrepancy. And I said, are you sure? Are you 100% positive you didn't mess up QuickBooks or your GoDaddy or whatever you use or your spreadsheet? And he said, no. We realized something was weird, and so we went back, and he downloads, this particular gentleman downloads his eBay invoices and eBay sales records just like I do every month because you can only go back 90 days. But he downloads those as a report to an Excel spreadsheet every month, just like I do. I use it for sales tax purposes mostly, but it's good to have as a backup. And he also downloads his PayPal reports once a month. He just goes in, he selects the dates, transactions, and hits download, and it's pretty quick. And he has it. And he doesn't typically have to use it. But he went back and he did item by item by item. And he sells 4 or 5 items a day, 6 items a day. Nothing crazy, but enough. He sells 150, 200 items a month. So to go back through the year was like 2,500 transactions. But him and the CPA did it. And let's say he sold an item for $15 and there was 80 cents in sales tax. They literally created a sheet and recorded every sale, $15, $13, $18, $17, $20. And then they recorded the sales tax next to it. And the reason they did that is because we all know that they started collecting that sales tax and then taking it back out. And none of us were really sure if they were going to report that sales tax on the 1099 to show higher income, which apparently they did, at least in his case. So when they did that, that's how they came up with this number. And then the 1099 that he received from PayPal, which you can download right on the website, was $6,000 higher than even the number that he had, including his sales tax. If he removed the sales tax, it was even further off. And so that's a huge problem. And he reached out to PayPal and said, hey, this is not correct. You told the IRS I made $46,000 and I only did $40,000 in sales. So if I tell the IRS what I have on my sheets and they see the 1099 in the event that I get audited, they're gonna think I'm lying and that I lied on my taxes, and that's just not the case. And that was just a couple of days ago, and they are still working on this process. So a couple days later, I received an email from another longtime viewer of mine, Mike, thank you, and he stated the same, that he had a discrepancy of a few $1,000s between his actual earnings and his PayPal. And I didn't have a good answer for Mike because I said, hey, look, I don't know. I went off of the 1099. So here's the problem. This is two-sided here. When I do my sales for my accounting, I do it just like the first gentleman did it, and I think Mike probably does it similar. I put my numbers into QuickBooks when an item sells. So at the end of the day, Kate might go through our 10 items that we sold today, or 8 items or whatever, and she's going to record each one of the items with the total. And we do put the sales tax in because it's coming into our account. So we're accounting for the sales tax. And whatever that is what I actually sold. If the 1099 is different from PayPal, that's a problem. And here's the reason why. Well, for obvious reasons, but when I go into my taxes to actually file the taxes, I input the number that PayPal has put on the 1099 because I know that's what the IRS is seeing in the event of an audit. I don't put in what my number says. Even though my number may have been correct and the PayPal number may not have been correct, I didn't know that and I'm not thinking that. And so I'm just like, oh, my QuickBooks number is 50,000-ish. I know about what I've made, right? I'm like, oh, well, I make, $4,000 a month in sales or $5,000 a month in sales on this account. And so this 1099 should be 50 grand or 60 grand or whatever it may be, right? And I know that my other one may be 70 grand or 80 grand or what have you. And my Shopify should be 100,000. And so I kind of know what those numbers are, but I don't know exactly. And I just go off of whatever that 1099 is that shows up to the doorstep. And if my QuickBooks says 52,000 and the 1099 says 56,000, I don't even really notice it. Like, to me, it's just, okay, it's numbers. And I put them in and I take my deductions and then a number comes out that I owe the IRS. So this is a huge problem. And I don't know, really what advice to give you guys, because hiring a CPA to go through it line by line or even doing it yourself is very time consuming, especially if you even just sell 3 or 4 items a day. That could be thousands of items. Remember, 365 days a year times 3 items a day is over 1,000 items. Do I recommend you doing it? For last year, for the taxes you've already submitted, maybe not. It's going to be hard for this year because we don't have a 1099, but I would say my best advice is to make sure you have very, very accurate dime by dime sales records. And in the event that you get an audit for 2019, you can back it up. And if it is still a mistake this year on the PayPal side, obviously if you have managed payments, make sure that you separate the 2 sets of transactions, like first half of the year, second half of the year. But just be cautious and be observant and make sure that you are, whether it's QuickBooks or GoDaddy or your own spreadsheet or whatever it is, make sure that you are keeping track line by line, item by item, price by price, sales tax by sales tax. Hopefully this is not a widespread issue. This may just be a glitch that happened to a select few people. It could be a glitch that happened across the platform. Who knows? I'm going to reach out to PayPal. I'm going to tweet at them. I'm going to email them. I'm going to call them. And I am going to do a line-by-line audit of like January and then February and then March and see if I can come up with any kind of discrepancies. The great thing about the 1099 that PayPal sends you when you get one is it shows your month by month by month, 12-month breakdown. So it'll show in January you did 6 grand and in February you did 7 grand. And so I can actually work it 1 month at a time to see if the months line up and where there are mistakes. If not, every month, 1 month or 2 months were messed up or all of them were messed up. So that's the route that I'm going to take. Now I've got a lot of transactions, 2 stores. It's going to take a while and it's going to kill me, but I don't have a lot else to do right now while we're selling our house. So it's kind of a blessing in disguise. I'll find out what I can find out for you guys, but honestly, it's just a bad situation if it happened to a lot of people, and we're just gonna have to hope for the best, have good records, and if something happens to the tune of an audit, then your records will have to be, what sticks, and you'll have to be able to fight that with PayPal and not the IRS, because the IRS is only gonna know what PayPal told them. Hey, PayPal told us 46,000, you said 40. You're gonna have to show us. And then you're gonna have to produce those records, which having those invoices and sales records downloaded month after month from PayPal and eBay and whatever is a really great way to back up your claim. I do it. I go to eBay, my eBay, I go to solds, like under the selling section, and I go to paid and shipped. And at the first day of the new month, so on November 1st, I'll select all of October and I'll download that. There's a little button in the right corner that says download or export to Excel or something like that. It changes all the time, but download that. And also underneath of your seller dashboard where they actually have your invoice, it gets sent to you too in your messages. You can download and save that. And then you can go to PayPal once you're, if you're still on PayPal or had PayPal before, and download the PayPal transaction report. And then you've got all 3 of those. You don't need to do anything with them necessarily. We do now for audit purposes, but normally I just download them and keep them. I use them for my sales tax. It kind of helps me with that. But just having them, even if you don't use them, is great, because when this comes up, now you've got something to back up your story of 40 grand versus $46,000. So hopefully this isn't to scare anybody. Hopefully this helps you to be aware of why it's so important to keep good records and tax and accounting. Even though PayPal is a billion-dollar company and eBay is a billion-dollar company and all these companies are multi-billion-dollar companies, it doesn't mean they're not prone to glitches and making mistakes. We all know that. It's obvious. So you have to look out for yourself, because nobody else is going to look out for you. Having a CPA is great, but even a CPA isn't going to be able to unconflaggle this mess if they don't have these invoices and these records to cross-check the numbers. So without making this video too much longer, that's where we're at. I will dig into this. It could take days or weeks, so just stay tuned. If I hear anything else, I'll let you know. If any of you have personally experienced this, or you're realizing it, if you've audited yourself, or if you've contacted PayPal or been contacted by them, or if you've noticed your 1099 being different from your sales numbers, please comment below. Let us know what your experience is and what action or results you've gotten out of PayPal. Or what kind of response you've gotten, because this is all new to me in just the last week and 5 days. Otherwise, I'm going to start digging into this deep, because as we get to the end of the year, I need to know the solution for filing taxes in 2021. All right, enjoy your weekend, guys. Appreciate all of you watching. Thank you. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoy this video, and if it helps you. I know it's not the best news, but if the videos keep you informed, please like them. It helps the algorithm, helps us. Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more updates or important news, stories, and important information like this video. Have a wonderful Friday, TGIF, you guys. I'll see you later on this weekend. Thank you so much. Good night.